guys, it's Ashley, and today I'm going to be talking about my October TBR. Now, I know that I did say, in the middle of this year that I wasn't going to be doing TBR videos anymore, but I felt like I had to for this month just to see if I could stick to it for once. I read The Trials of Apollo, the Dark Prophecy last month, and I loved it so much. So in lieu of the third and final Magnus Chase book coming out, I have decided to reread all of Rick Riordan's books. I know, it's insane, but I haven't actually finished the first book of Magnus Chase, and I'm not really into it that much, so I decided that I'm going to read them all from the beginning. So I'm going to do the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, then move on to the Heroes of Olympus series, and then read the first Magnus Chase book, the first Trials of Apollo book, the second Magnus Chase book, the second Trials of Apollo book, and then finally the third Magnus Chase book. Now, this will definitely take me a few months and definitely to the end of the year, so those are not the only books I will be reading. So I decided to tell you guys what other books I would be reading in the month of October and then, eventually November and December. The first Percy Jackson book and the first one in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief. I'm about 75 pages into this book, and I am loving it so far. I am definitely going to be doing a book report type thing on it, so you guys will be able to check that out at the end of the week. I am hoping to finish this book by the end of this week. The Percy Jackson series is about this kid named Percy Jackson, surprise, who finds out that he's the son of Poseidon, which is crazy. And he basically has to go on this huge quest to find a lightning bolt, which is why it's called The Lightning Thief. And he goes on with his best friend Grover, who's a satyr, and his best friend Annabeth, who is the daughter of Athena. And that's basically the first book in the series, and it is such a good book, it's such a good series, and I'm really excited to finally be rereading it. I haven't since I was about 12, so I don't think I've reread it since I was in 7th grade, and now I'm a senior, so there's really no better time to read it, huh? So yes, definitely super excited to read this book, and there will be a book report coming to you eventually in the future. The second book that I want to read this month is The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. I can't really give you a synopsis, it's basically just about Percy Jackson. This one's tiny, so I will definitely be able to get through it in a week, so I'm real excited about that. Yeah. And the next two books that I want to read this month are The Titan's Curse and The Battle of the Labyrinth, both by Rick Riordan, books 3 and 4, in the Percy Jackson the Olympian series. Can't tell you any synopsis about these, but I'm definitely super excited to jump into these ones because Battle of the Labyrinth is actually my favorite book in the Percy Jackson series, and it's the one that it's the one where I realized, how much I loved Icarus, the myth of Icarus, and now I'm actually writing a book about Icarus and Apollo, which is really exciting, and awesome. So, yeah, I really love Battle of Labyrinth, and I'm super excited to get to this one, but also Titan's Curse, because my young child comes back in this one, and I don't remember exactly what happens, so super excited to read it. Now, the non-Percy Jackson related books that I'm going to be reading this month are spooky books. Yay! I'm not really super into spooky reads, just because the few that I have read I'm not really into, but I am super excited to pick these ones up because I've heard so many great things about both of them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into them. The first non-spooky read that I am going to read this month, and the one that I have already started along with Percy Jackson, is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. This book, I don't know much about. That's kind of how I want to go into it. I'm excited about it. Basically, all I know is that there is a murder on the Orient Express. That's it. And that Johnny Depp is in the movie, which I'm not excited about. So, yeah, I really wanted to read an Agatha Christie book, and I kind of wanted to read, a thriller-y type book, and October seemed like the perfect time to do it, so I picked this up. I got it from my friend, his little library thing, and I am going to read it, hopefully, this month. And the last book that I want to read this month, and the only other non-Percy Jackson related book, is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I have not personally read any Neil Gaiman, and I heard that this is a great book to get started with it. All I know is that this is a book about a kid who lives in a graveyard with spirits. So it's definitely the perfect book to pick up for October, and I'm so excited to get into it. So there you go, that's my October TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment letting me know your guys' TBR. I hope it's much more spooky than mine. Yeah, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, if you want to see my face a little bit more, if you want to see my fun muscle t-shirts, and if you want to join me on this travel through vedo. I'm already struggling. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy vedo!